Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to you, brothers, to the four corners of the earth, preaching His word and also laboring in His word in truth, love, and sincerity. And may blessings fall upon the houses of the 1/3. And it's just a quick lesson. I want to go over how the Lord is only dealing with His people. Okay? And the Lord's people are the Israelites, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and also you Israelites that have been scattered through the four corners of the earth, okay? That may look like the other nations, that may speak the tongues of the other nations. If your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you are indeed an Israelite, okay? If your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you are indeed an Israelite. Okay? So yeah, in this quick lesson, I just want to touch on how, that the Lord has a chosen people. Okay? One people, the lot of his inheritance, which are the Israelites. The only people that the Lord is dealing with. Okay? His people. The same people that He made near unto Himself and has separated, right, from all the other people from upon the earth, okay, to be unto Him. So without further ado, let's go to the book of 2 Ezra 5, verse 20, and this is dealing with the priest Ezra, okay, also known as Esdras. 2 Ezra 5, verse 20 says, "And so I fasted 7 days, mourning and weeping, like as Uriel, the angel, commanded me. And after 7 days, so it was that the thoughts of my heart were very grievous unto me again. And my soul recovered the spirit of understanding. And I began to talk with the Most High again, and said, O Lord, that bearest rule over every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, Thou hast chosen Thee one only vine. And of all lands of the whole world, Thou hast chosen Thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily. And of all the depths of the sea, Thou hast filled Thee one river. And of all builded cities, Thou hast hollowed Zion unto Thyself," right? Jerusalem. "And of all the fowls that are created, Thou hast named Thee one dove. And of all the cattle that are made, Thou hast provided Thee one sheep. And among all the multitudes of peoples, Thou hast gotten Thee one people. And unto this people whom Thou lovest, Thou gavest a law that is approved of all." Who is this people? Out of all the multitude of the people, Slakia. Let's go back to that again. Out of all the multitudes of the people, who are the people Thou hast gotten Thee one? Slakias. Who is these one people? It's the Israelites. Okay, I'll read it again. It says, "And among all the multitudes of peoples, Thou hast gotten Thee one people, and unto this people whom Thou lovest, right, Thou gavest a law that is approved of all." Now, who is given the law? The Israelites. Okay, the Israelites were given the law. Okay, we are the only people on the earth that would have been given the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, verse 28, it says, "And now, O Lord, why hast Thou given this one people over unto many? And upon the one root hast Thou prepared others? And why hast Thou scattered Thy only one people among many? And they which did gainsay Thy promises and believe not Thy covenants have trodden Thee down. And they which did gainsay Thy promises and believe not Thy covenants have trodden them down." Who are the ones that have been trodden down? The Israelites. Who are the ones that did the gainsaying against the Lord's promises and believe not His covenants? The heathens, the natural Gentiles. Okay? Who is those people scattered, as it says in verse 28? The Israelites. Okay? Because we were carried away from our homeland, right, for our disobedience into the Heavenly Father, man. And mainly the idol worship that our people were heavy into. Okay? And Ezra is just asking the Lord, that if we be the Lord's people, or that one people, why has this happened to us? Why have we been scattered? Why have we been trodden down, by these nations? You see, these are the questions Ezra is asking. All right? So, Lord willing, I want to grab a few precepts just backing this up. All right, so I want to start at verse 27 again. It says, and among all the multitudes of peoples, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. So, first precept I want to get is the book of Amos. Book of Amos 3 verse 1, it says, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I have brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. See, the multitudes, many people. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for your iniquities. You see, so the Lord only known Israel, man. Okay. Deuteronomy 5 verse 1, it says, and Moses called all Israel and said unto them, hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I spake in your ears this day, that you may learn them and keep them and do them. The Lord our power made a covenant with us in Horeb. And this goes into basically the same thing. I want to get the one where it says law. Leviticus 26. Try this one. Leviticus 26 verse 46. Yep, here we go. It says, these are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. You see? So the law was only given to the Israelites. Okay? So when we go back to where we at 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, that answers those two questions, or precepts to back, just to solidify and back up those two questions, And among all, 2nd Ezra 5 verse 27, and among all the multitudes of peoples, thou hast gotten thee one people, as it said in Amos, the 3rd chapter, 1 and verse 2. Amos, 3rd chapter, 1 and verse 2. And among all the multitudes of the peoples, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. Leviticus 26, verse 46, and more. Verse 28, and now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people over unto many? And upon the one root hast thou prepared others, and why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? Right? Let's just get a quick one. Let's go to the Deuteronomy 28. Start at verse 1, it says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth, right? So when you read all the way down to verse 14, it talks about all the blessings that we would get, right? If we hearken to the Lord. Verse 15, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and the statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall what? Come upon thee and overtake thee. So let's go to the one that Esdras was speaking about, right? Deuteronomy 28, verse Salakia. Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. What does it say? And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. This is one of the curses. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. You see that? So this was spoken to happen to us if what? We were disobedient to the Heavenly Father. Okay, so we'll read that again. 2 Corinthians 5, verse 28, it says, and now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people over unto many? And upon the one root Yet and upon the one root thou hast prepared others. And why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? Why? Before our disobedience, man. You see, this is why we were put into captivity, to serve enemies in a land that we knew not. Because what? We were sacrificing to devils and not to the Heavenly Father, man. You see? Israel became heavy into that idol worship. This is the book of Baruch 4 verse 6. It says, what? Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, ye were delivered into the enemies. For ye have provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that have brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nourished you. So right there, just a few scriptures I grabbed, that's just to back up, why this have taken place upon us, man. Okay, just these scriptures alone. Let's go to the book of Daniel 9, verse 10. It says, I'll start at 9. It says, I'll start at verse 7. It says, O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces is at this day, to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off. Through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass, that they have trespassed against thee. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings and to our princes and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. You see, so shame have covered us. Okay. To the Lord our power belong mercies and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our power, to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. You see, and our people rebelled against the prophets, man. The same thing you see them doing today, man, setting the Lord's counsel at naught. Verse 11, it says, yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey the voice. Therefore the curse, the curse is poured out upon us in the oath that is written where? In the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. You see? So this is why all these things have come upon us, man. This is why the curses has overtaken us as a people, man. You see? For our disobedience unto the Heavenly Father, man. You see? Choosing to walk in the ways of the heathen and not into the ways of the Heavenly Father, man, which is the ways of righteousness. Okay? Let's get one more. Let's go back to that and see if we can. So going back to 2nd Esdras. Yeah, so that one people that the Lord was dealing with is the Israelites, man. Okay. So 2nd Esdras 5 verse 29, it says, and they which did gainsay thy promises and believe not thy covenants and have trodden them down, right? Which are the other nations. If thou didst so much hate thy people, yet shouldest thou punish them with thy own hands? Now when I had spoken these words, the angel that came to me the night afore was sent unto me, and said unto me, hear me, and I will instruct thee. Hearken to the thing that I say, and I shall tell thee more. And I said, speak on, my Lord. Then said he unto me, thou art sore troubled in mind for Israel's sake. See, letting you know who Ezra is concerned about. It says, then said he unto me, thou art sore troubled in mind for Israel's sake. Lovest thou that people better than he that made them? So the angel's asking, Ezra's like, well, do you love Israel more than, the Heavenly Father? Right? Because he's the one that made us. And I said, no, Lord, but of very grief have I spoken. For my reins pain me every hour, while I labor to comprehend the way of the Most High, and to seek out part of his judgment. And he said unto me, thou canst not. And I said, wherefore, Lord? Whereunto was I born then?
Or why was I not my mother's womb? Why was not my mother's womb then my grave, that I might not have seen the travail of Jacob and the weariness toil of the stock of Israel? And he said unto me, Number me these things that are not yet come. Gather me together the drops that are scattered abroad. Make me the flowers green again that are withered. Open me the places that are closed, and bring me forth the winds that in them are shut up. Show me the image of a voice, and then I will declare to thee the thing that thou laborest to know. Right? So do all these things, and I will declare this. What your mind is set upon. And I said, O Lord, that bears rule. Who may know these things? But he that have not his dwelling with men. As for me, I am unwise. How may I then speak of these things whereof thou askest me? Then said he unto me, Like as thou cannot do none of these things that I have spoken of, even so canst thou not find out my judgment, or in the end the love that I have promised unto my people. You see? So look, Ezra, you don't know everything that's going on here, man. You see? You cannot declare into me these things. So, I don't have to declare into you, what's everything that's going down and a love that I truly have for my people Israel. I'll read that part again. It says, Then said he unto me, Like as thou canst do none of these things that I have spoken of, even so thou canst not find out my judgment, or in the end the love that I have promised unto my people. Because the Lord, has that love, for Israel, man. That true love. Okay, but hey, Lord willing, that's it. I got to get back to the plantation. Lord willing, I hope this lesson was edifying. With that,